Hey guys, welcome back to an interesting video on Wild Rift. So today we're back with a Nilah jungle supplementary guide. Pretty wild match as you guys can probably tell from the title, but let's jump straight into the build, runes, and spells explanation first, and we'll talk about the gameplay later. So with Nilah jungle, you basically want to try to one-shot people. So with that, we are building like lethality and first strike. So we're gonna start off with the boots of dynamism, gives you armor pen as well as attack damage, and then going into the collector for an additional 10 armor pen, as well as of course giving you AD and crit as well, and you also get the execute passive, which is not too relevant in my opinion, but the armor pen and crit rate is what we're going after. And then for our next item, we're going to go into the Bloodthirster for the physical vamp, the nice stats of having more AD, as well as of course getting extra stats when you're high on health. And then you have of course your IE for your additional crit damage, as well as more AD and crit, of course having the health penalty as well. Now what you can actually do here also is to swap around the IE as well as the Bloodthirster if you want to try to, get the 50% crit and roll for those extra crits. But I think the more consistent way is to go for BT second, so it's kind of a little bit up to you. And then for your fourth item, you want to go for the more reminder for the armor pen as well as the crit rate. And for our last item, it's pretty much, you have a lot of options here. So default, of course, is GA for the revive. But other options you have is Death's Dance, because Nilah is a melee champion, so you're gonna get the full effect from Death's Dance, and this is a really good buy into a AD team, which is what I actually go for later on in the gameplay. And into a very heavy AP team, you can of course choose between Maw as well as going for Spirit Visage. Spirit Visage is really good despite being a full-on defensive item, because for Nilah, she does have a lot of healing in her kit, as well as from the Bloodthirster, which you have in your build. So having a Spirit Visage, and if you have any kind of healing support, is going to be completely amazing. If you need a shield, you could of course go for the shield bow, but I prefer going for Steric's Gauge, which gives you health as well. Gives you a movement speed penalty by a little bit, but it does give you the tankiness from the health and the shield, as well as bonus bonus AD from the stat line as well. And finally, your last option, although it does reduce your AD by about 15, by the time you get it, it's going to be 15, you are going to get amazing amounts of defensive stats. So I think Twin Guard is also a really viable option, considering how you need to get into melee range in the longer fight if you don't one-shot the first person. So speaking of one-shotting, we're going to go for first strike in order to one-shot the first person that we jump on top of, which you will see in the gameplay later on. And you also have sudden impact to get the additional pen when you're jumping in on them with your E. And for the rest of the runes, you're going to go for Gathering Storm, because you honestly don't auto-attack that much. You're trying to just one-shot people, so this is probably the best way to go. Giant Slayer into heavy health teams, which is honestly going to be the majority of the time. You could also go for Coup de Grace if the enemy team is not tanky. And Alacrity for the attack speed, because we don't have pretty much any of it in our build at all. And then of course, since we're playing jungle, we're going to go for Smite and Flash. But with all that said, let's move on to the gameplay. Okay, so now we're hopping into the gameplay itself. Now, Nilah jungle, how good is it? Well, it's alright. Like, jungle is like my 5th position, so I almost never get jungle. But sometimes on the rare occasions where I literally don't get any other role, I get jungle. And, I basically just play something that I know how to play, like being like maybe Nilah or Twitch sometimes, even though Twitch jungle is really trash. We do the usual jungle tactic of warding the opposite buff with a control ward from the one you're starting, so that you can see if the enemy is invading your buff. I maybe want to try to play Kindred in the future, because Kindred is a marksman style jungler, but we'll talk about Kindred when we eventually play her, and maybe make a video on it if we actually can learn her and it goes well. But for now, I'm just gonna default to Nilah, because she is a alright jungler. Like, I think she's not like top tier, definitely not S+ or S tier, maybe A+ tier at the best. Amazing late game jungler, but in the early game really needs to farm a lot to get to your items, and when you get like maybe 2 to 3 items, you can start to just one-shot people. And before that is basically just trying to take advantage of opportunistic ganks to get kills or assists to start to, of course, get closer toward where you want to be, which is to your 2-3 item power spike. Yeah, early game you're really not that strong, unless you really catch your enemy out of position. So for Nilah's first clear, what you really want to do is just clear your whole jungle. So we're going to go from Crux to Red to Raptors, and then of course to Wolves, Blue, and Gromp. You could also start off on the blue side with starting off with your blue buff into Gromp, Wolves, and then go to your red side and just clear down with the Raptors as well as Red and Crux. Here our controller actually spots the the Tryndamere. So we're actually going to go in hunting because we have our Fizz coming in with us, as well as our Nami rotating. Beautiful rotations from my team. We flash over to try to secure the kill onto him, but even with the red buff slow, we are not able to catch up to him, unfortunately, because he does pop his ghost to run away. So probably shouldn't have flashed there, you know, because we didn't actually realize he used the ghost there. But anyways, we're just going to secure the Skull with the pressure from our team. And Yasuo is actually going in on the Fizz. We're going to let the red buff finish off the Skull, and we're actually rotating over to help out Fizz, but the fight kind of ends, so we don't actually really need to do that. So of course that kind of quote-unquote messes up our normal clear, but as a jungle, you really shouldn't have a default clear to begin with. So instead, we're just going to continue on to clear the rest of our blue side jungle. After that little skirmish with Tryndamere, with our team's help as well. And we were able to, of course, smite secure the blue buff. So, yeah, I'm not the best smiter because I don't play jungle almost at all. Like, I play jungle about 1 in every, like, 50 or so games when I'm unlucky enough to get jungle in solo queue. So, I'm really not the best smiter, so that's a huge win for me, just being able to smite the blue buff, you know, from the enemy jungler, who may or may not be a jungle main. We don't know, of course, because it's solo queue. So, we're gonna pick up our first item, which is, of course, the lethality boots, and get ourselves a longsword as well. And then we're going to go back to clearing the red side jungle with the respawn of Krugs. Now, of course, we could be looking for a gank here, but of course, Yone has pushed in the set completely, so we can't really gank. We see Tryndamere coming in, and we're actually pinging danger to the Yone because we know Tryndamere might be coming. We're here trying to help him out. He tries to flash away but gets pulled back in. Now here, of course, Tryndamere is in the ulti, and Set has the shield, so really I have no one good to focus here. Now Set shield is down. I try to focus Set, but it doesn't really work out. Fizz, however, comes in for the cleanup. Now without Tryndamere's ult, he is tagged by the fish and he is gonna die. So Fizz picks up a quick double kill off of the work that me and Yone put in. So overall, it's a 2-for-2 trade with Fizz picking up both of the kills, and I do get 2 assists, so it's not all too bad. And of course, red buff is respawning as well as the Raptors have respawned, so we're just gonna go back to clearing. Really, with Nilah, it's just clear your jungle, and then just gank when you have the chance to, or, you know, join fights when you have the chance to. Yasuo does a really weird dive onto Fizz, so Yasuo goes down as well. And yeah, just keep farming till you get your items, and later on in the game, you can, when you get like 2-3 items, you can really start to try to make plays. But for the early game, it's pretty passive. It's just really farming and just trying to get your gold and trying to get your items. Really not too exciting, you know, footage of what we're seeing here, but that's kind of, you know, one of those farming style junglers is Nilah. And yeah, and also if you have an opportunity to proc for a strike, like we did just now on Tryndamere, you can just proc it. I think at this point we have about 100 first strike goal already, so that helps you get up to your item spikes faster as well. But of course, that's not really your main form of income. It's just, you know, it's good to have if you can get in some ganks or if you can get into some skirmishes, but definitely not what you should be focusing on as a Nilah. Definitely you want to focus on other things. So here you can see again, I'm going for some first strike goal. I use the W to block Tryndamere's damage, and we just get a quick trade just for a little bit of first strike goal. Nothing too fancy here. So both objectives are going to be spawning really soon. So Herald is the more optimal objective, so I'm pinging for Herald. I know my Yone can get the parity if he wants to, and he can just clear easily against the Set. He has 1 kill down on the Set though, and Fizz does have priority over Yasuo now, so I should have the free choice of which objective I want, because my team should be able to rotate. Fizz is rotating to help me out here, as he should. However, Tryndamere does show up, and he does, of course, have ult. Fizz manages to nearly one-shot him, so he has to pop the ult. I pop the W to block the damage, and I'm popping my own ult, pulling Tryndamere in, getting the heal as well. I'm trying to use the eye to secure, which I do. Secure the Rift Herald by hitting the eye, and Ezreal does take me out with the well-placed ultimate from across the map. I would have done the same thing myself if I was the Ezreal, so really well played by him. Xayah's going in with the ulti. Ezreal flashes out the way of the Feather Recall, but nice bubble comes in onto the Morgana and the pullback of the Feathers to secure the kill for the Xayah. Nice quick kill pickup from the Xayah there. Ezreal himself is pretty fat, 2-0 at the moment, so it's a really competitive bot lane situation at the moment. A really competitive mid lane situation as well. I'm going to just plot on the Herald so I can get the plates here. I'm going to try to rotate to the Dragon if I can, dashing away from the Tryndamere. Fizz is 3 kills, but is still somehow behind in goal from the Yasuo. I actually get the solo tower goal because Fizz actually backed off, so I actually get all of the goal, which puts me very, very far ahead. Now Tryndamere is coming in. I'm timing it, and I go in with the dash smite, full burst combo. I flash over to get the kill on Tryndamere because I know he doesn't have ult because he just used it. Now unfortunately, I get caught in the Morgana ult because she does have Rylai's, and I can't get out, and my dash is on cooldown, so I actually end up getting stunned and then rooted and then just killed. So I do end up going down because I dashed over the wall to get Tryndamere. So overall, it's kind of a 1-for-1 trade, but I still think it's a more favorable trade for me because I get the kill, whereas on the other side, the Morgana gets the kill. Actually, Morgana didn't get the kill. I think it was I'm not sure who it was actually. Maybe Ezreal, which then maybe it's bad. So yeah, but we do pick up a kill for ourselves, and now we're actually the most fed member of our team, but not in the game because Ezreal is actually more fed than us at 3-0-2 at the moment. So Ezreal is really starting to pick up steam here, which is kind of a big problem for Nilah, because Nilah, of course, is a melee champion, does have 2 dashes, but it's really hard to get onto Ezreal, who does have a dash of his own. So really, if we want to take out Ezreal, we gotta wait for him to use dash and wait for him to probably be busy with the rest of our team. In a 1v1, it's really hard for Nilah to really get on top of Ezreal and kill him. So we're gonna have to rely on our team for that one. And when Nilah is a lot better at taking out the other champs, like Yasuo and Tryndamere are both melee auto attackers, and your W kind of cancels it. So here you can see we pop the W, Yasuo can finish us off. We're gonna lower him down. I'm not sure what that tornado was. Probably auto target or something like that, and Fizz is able to finish him off. In the meantime, Tryndamere is inside our base, but I'm 1 HP, so I can't deal with Tryndamere. Tryndamere is actually 2v1ing, kills my bot lane, and Fizz is gonna rotate over to finish the job. I barely survived clearing my wolves because I don't actually have any kind of sustain at the moment, aside from the native sustain you get as a jungler from Smite. So I nearly actually died to the wolves right there. Really scary situation. But we thankfully don't cop an embarrassing death. We actually cop the wolves instead. And we're going to rotate over. We see Ezreal deep into a fight with our Fizz. Fizz dies. I think Ezreal actually spots me off of the minions because he launches a Q here. And I spot Morgana on my blue buff. So here I'm trying to focus down my Morgana. I smite the blue buff for health and I finish it off. But again, I get caught by the Ezreal ulti, which now packs a punch because he has 2 full items, including the evolved Manamune. So he packs a punch. He's at 9k gold, way ahead of anybody else in the game. So he's definitely becoming a huge problem. Yone 1-3 against the Set, who's 3-2. And he is now getting killed by Yasuo as well. So Yone not having the best of times at the moment. So it looks like everything's going down on the bot side, and I got no camps up anyway. So I'm going to rotate over to the bot side to see if I can help my team, who is definitely caught in a fight here. Looks like they're about to get tower dived. I'm maintaining my distance, looking for an opportunity to go in. Fizz is going in onto the Yasuo. I'm trying to ignore the Tryndamere. I dash in on the 1 HP Yasuo. I get knocked up while I'm doing so, unfortunately. I do get the ult off for the healing, and I'm able to finish off Yasuo, trading 1-for-1. But Ezreal, just too strong, kills off the rest of my team, and goes godlike, which is really bad. And Nami running for her life. Yone, I'm not quite sure what he's doing here. Enemy team spots him. He's trying to trap for someone. Morgana flashes away. He gets now rooted, stunned up. He tries to flash away. Ezreal with a very nice block, but actually nearly dies for it. So not sure if that was the move, but did block Yone's escape and eventually pick up the kill. So I guess outcome-based analysis, Ezreal did do the right thing, but I don't know if I would do that if I was Ezreal, because Yone just nearly one-shot him despite being 1-4 at that point in time. Which really kind of just shows you how strong Yone and Yasuo are in the current meta. Because of course the Wind Brothers are really strong with the buffed Blade of the Rune King and other items as well, like the Infinity Edge and etc. So now we're gonna quickly clear out these minions and get off a recall. We can complete our Bloodthirster right here. So we had 2 item power spike, and we're gonna rotate over to the dragon, which is spawning now. It's Infernal Dragon Soul this game, as we've gotten the first dragon. So if we can get the next 2 dragons, that would be good. Looks like it might be the case with Tryndamere now on the ropes. He actually dies right before the dragon spawns, so it looks like it's going to be a freebie for us. Scanning, of course, for any wards in the area. There looks like there are none. And now we're just going to focus the dragon. Enemy control ward goes in, and I can't really clear it because I don't have range. And Ezreal actually steals the dragon with a well-placed ulti into Q combo. As I said, I'm really not the best smiter, and my team dies, as well, which is not too hot. So now 3rd dragon becomes really not valuable anymore since both sides have a dragon apiece. And I'm not gonna care too much about 3rd dragon if it really comes down to it. Because again, it's not too valuable. Now the enemy team is so ahead of us right now that they're actually 8k gold ahead. And we are starting to get bounties. We haven't actually taken a tower yet, so we have bounties on all of the towers. Here a fight is breaking out in the red side jungle. Yone is going in onto Set and Yasuo. I try to go in as well, hitting the ulti onto Yasuo. Yasuo goes down. Set is has his W cooldown back up again, but it actually doesn't do a lot of damage because I even took the true damage part of it and I didn't actually take that much damage, so it looked pretty alright where I'm standing. So we do grab the kill onto the Set. Going back, we get our IE components. Of course, when we hit IE, we're going to be really, really strong. And we also really need a QSS this game because we, of course, can QSS Set ulti. We can QSS Morgana's ulti and her binding as well. And even Yasuo's Tornado, if we time it right, we can QSS that preemptively. So QSS a lot of value in this match. We definitely want to pick that up. And here we are going to just clear out the wave before anything else. And my team is trying to look for a pick on Morgana, but I think it's really hard to get a pick on Morgana because she does have the Rylai's to just slow you down when she knows you're coming. So I'm really more so getting the wave than really chasing down Morgana in this situation here. We really want to try to get some of these bounties, but it's not really safe to go for any of these towers at the moment. Two of them are really, really low though, so both top tower and mid tower are kind of, you know, in this kind of stage where even minions could really get the tower if it comes down to it. And the enemy has poor wave management, but we really want to try to pick up some of these bounties if we can to try to get back into the game. My whole team collectively really, really far behind. I'm the most fed member on my team by quite a mile at 11k gold. We actually have more gold than everyone on the enemy team aside from the Ezreal. So we really want to try to carry this game. Now, it looks like we're not really doing that much. We're 5-5-5 actually. Really interesting scoreline here. But here I get caught by the root. I pop the W to try to block some of Tryndamere's damage, but he's just running me down at this point. I pop the ulti, try to force Tryndamere ulti, but he doesn't even ult here, so we, in the end, kind of just wasted our flash there. A valiant effort from us, especially considering we're on 3-item power spike. In the meantime, enemy team is picking up Baron without their Tryndamere, so Yone goes in a little bit early if he's looking for a steal though. He does pick up a kill onto Yasuo, but I think he probably should have tried to steal Baron instead. Fizz is now trying to steal Baron himself, but Baron goes down. He is, however, able to pick off a out-of-position Ezreal who hopped over the wall to kill Yone. So 1k gold shutdown goes into the pocket of the Fizz, who only has 2 items at the moment, and even with that 1k shutdown, only is at 10k gold. So I'm not sure if he's really the best one to give the shutdown to, but hey, you know, we don't have a choice. In the meantime, we actually get a bounty on the top lane because my bot lane decides to get the bounty instead of contesting Baron, which is the appropriate thing to do since the jungler is dead. In this case, the jungler is me, which is, you know, really a rare situation that I find myself in. Now with 3 crit items though, we pick up the QSS. And we're looking to get 100% crit with the Maul Reminder. As I mentioned a little bit earlier on in the build section of the video, in this game we're going for Death's Dance as the last item if we actually get there. For some reason they see me in spite of the fact that I actually sweep the area and I know that there's no wards here. I guess they just guessed that someone's in there. So Tryndamere actually dashes in, I nearly die. But I'm able to more or less bait the Tryndamere in. He pops the ulti and survives, so overall nothing too much is happening. I'm really close to getting items, so I'm trying to get farm while Fizz is trying to steal my farm. Unfortunately, my blue buff and the Gromp was taken, so I know that this area is most likely very warded, so I'm just gonna get away from the area because I don't want to get caught inside my jungle. Enemy team is pushing down mid as a unit. Of course, they do still have the Baron buff. Yasuo is going very, very deep in, actually ults, and I'm able to actually take him out with the help of my Nexus tower. You can see Ezreal's like 1Q does like a third of my health, and it really, really hurts. So here now we're trying to defend the Nexus against the Baron minions. I can see one Ezreal Q now with a whopping half of my health. Like, yeah, he hurts. So I'm gonna have to back off just a little bit and regain health at the Nexus. Now again, as I said, the third dragon really is not important. We shouldn't be contesting this dragon because the enemy team has prime position on the dragon itself. And my bot lane is actually going there, which is a pretty bad idea. I'm trying to ping them off the dragon. Yone doing the red buff. I'm just gonna hop over, get that red buff. And not sure if I have enough. Don't think I really have enough to complete Maul Reminder. I'm gonna get the components instead. Of course, the components are still really important. Cutting the healing, really important for pretty much the entire team who has healing. And of course, the armor pen as well, really, really good for someone like Set, for example, who does have an armor item. So at this point, again, I still have the second most gold in the game, only second to Ezreal, who is, of course, like 9-1, so he does have a lot of items. So here I actually spot 2 enemy wards. I'm going to clear both of them, and I see Morgana and Ezreal rotating, so I'm not going to die over blue buff, so I'm just going to give them the blue buff instead. The ghost thingy, that actually doesn't spot them on the blue buff, so I'm just going to walk away. They actually find a pick mid onto Yone instead. I think Yone is in deep trouble. Goes in, ults the Yasuo, flashes away, but ends up dying to Ezreal. And this analysis is just from what I see on the map, by the way, based on the movement. Yeah, so anyways, yeah, so blue buff is of course gone. We're just going to pick up what we can, which is the wolves. We are at 100% crit now, picking up the Maul Reminder on that last base. So now we're in prime position to really just one-shot someone. And you know, we haven't really one-shot anyone this entire game yet. And here, honestly, I am a little bit scared of Yasuo, but I probably can kill him. You know, I'm at 4 full items and he's at 3, so I probably can just one-shot him, but I don't know where his team is. I'm a little bit reluctant to commit heavily onto him. Otherwise, his team might, you know, come for me instead, and that wouldn't be good at all. Here I spot a 1 HP Morgana, flash in, killing her. Somehow, Set doesn't actually get knocked up here. I'm going to dash over, slow him down with the Smite, QSS, the ulti, and in the meantime, enemy team picks up Baron. Unfortunately, I try to ult, but he flashes the wall. And because of that, he's actually going to escape because Tryndamere and Ezreal are actually coming to help, and this is kind of awkward because Elder Dragon is spawning soon. I'm going to try to one-shot somebody. Both of them almost get one-shot. Tryndamere, of course, has the ult. I'm trying to kill Set before I die. I get him down. Ezreal hops the wall, so I'm not able to damage him. And unfortunately, I die right before Dragon, which is kind of bad. Tryndamere is still alive though, and Ezreal outplays the Fizz completely and survives, but unfortunately for him, Yone has the mark on him, waits for the stasis to expire, and recalls back to his ghost and kills Ezreal. Tryndamere not getting caught as well, no ult for Tryndamere because he used it earlier when he was fighting me, so Yone is going to clean him up. And now only Morgana's left alive, so actually Yone is kind of getting back into the game. And is going to go onto the Elder Dragon together with the Nami, who is kind of running out of mana. Now Morgana is going to try a Damnus to try to stop anything from happening. And honestly, Morgana is just playing distraction here. Flashes away and is able to buy quite a bit of time for our team. Now me and Xayah are coming out of base off of the revive. So is Yasuo and Set. However, the jungler is not, and Ezreal is not either. So this should be a free Elder Dragon for my team if I can just get over there to smite it and not get CC'd or anything like that. Now Elder Dragon getting really low. I'm going to go in with the combo and smite as well. However, despite the fact that I get the dragon, I actually get one shot pretty much by the full set combo. My team's going to finish him off though. So I am able to secure Elder Dragon for 3 members of my team, which is good enough. You know, we deny it from the enemy team and we also get it for 3 members of our team. It's a pretty okay death if you ask me. Now Fizz is trying to wait for a pick. Looks to go for Ezreal since he has Elder buff. Completely whiffs all of his spells except his ulti, which barely does any damage, and just, you know, gets embarrassed by Ezreal once again. Got outplayed twice in a row by the Ezreal. Not a good look at all. Yeah, I mean, not too much I can really say other than that. Yeah, probably shouldn't have gone for the Ezreal there, because Ezreal still has his E and can easily just escape from Fizz. Here I'm able to pick up my Death's Dance, which is a very, very crucial item into their very, very heavy AD team. Only Morgana's non-AD, and Morgana does have damage. She does have Death Cap and Infinity Orb here, but, you know, main damage is coming from everybody else aside from her. So here, full build now. I'm trying to pick up my red buff. I'm trying to carry my team as best I can. Yasuo is really, really low. It does go down. I'm trying to see if I can flank Ezreal from the side. As I said earlier, the game plan to kill Ezreal is go on him while he's distracted with my team, but doesn't really pan out here. Again, I'm using the sweeper to ensure no ward is in here. So I know they can't see me. I'm just hiding in this bush waiting for my opportunity. Maybe Yone is going to go in. He does go in on Ezreal actually, but hops back out immediately after. I'm just waiting again. So here you see Ezreal really low. I try to dash on him, but he actually flashes immediately. Really good reaction time from him. Goes into the GA, but I'm going to catch him with the ulti when he comes out. He pops the stasis now. Now I'm 1v2 against Set and him. Set sacrifices his life to save his Ezreal, which is definitely what he should be doing. I go for the Set instead. I have to pretty much have no choice, but I have to go for the Set. Now here you can see the amazing lifesteal from Nilah. I'm at half health now. I'm just going to lifesteal off of this minion wave back to full health, plus a shield, and picking up this tower as well. Now 3 people are dead on the enemy team. Only Ezreal and Yasuo are left alive. whereas my whole team is alive, so we should be going for Baron here. Ping's come up for Baron. Yone is off on the split push as well, so we're going to definitely get some value here. Probably going to get Baron and some towers in top if Yone decides to actually go for the towers instead of the enemy Krugs. So here's the pull comes in, no smite comes in, pull comes in to secure the Baron. Ezra ulti comes in late, so no steal this time. And Yone picks up the tower top. Yasuo tries to go in on me here, but you can see I basically just one-shot him here, despite the fact I got surprised by him. Like, he literally nearly 100 to 0 me. I popped my W, and I used basically all my spells to 100 to 0 him instead. So, full build Nilah, nothing to scoff at. And by the way, guys, that's the Dev's Dance value. If I didn't have Dev's Dance there, I probably would have just been one-shot by Yasuo, but the fact that I had Dev's Dance to delay his damage gave me just enough time to return the damage and kill him instead. Tryndamere is going in, has used up his ult. I'm trying to time it. I mistime it by a little bit, and I kill him eventually. Now I'm going onto the Ezreal, auto-attacking him down. I actually kill the Ezreal here. Of course, now full build. He's going to have some trouble dealing with my Dev's Dance. And with that cleaned up, looks like with the Baron, we should be able to end the game. Only Set is left alive. Game is pretty much won at this point, so I'm going to have a little bit of fun just walking into tower. Going for the Set, but he's really, really tanky. Honestly, I could have just tried to commit onto him because the game was won anyway, but I didn't want to take another death. So I'm going to leave you guys with the stats as usual. Thank you guys so much for watching the video, and goodbye.